Now we're going to look at a bobble. There are whole families of bobbles, but this is my favourite way of making them. Into this single stitch here, we've got to make a large number of increases. And my favourite for bobble making is to knit once, yarn over, knit again, yarn over. That's 4 times. And then we'll go in one more time. This will only give you odd numbered bobble stitches, or only give you attractive odd numbered bobble stitches. So I've actually got 5 stitches in there, but we could have 7 or 9, whatever takes your fancy. And a bobble is essentially a little bit of extra knitting worked on those stitches and then decreased away again. So we started with 1 stitch and we'll end up back at 1 stitch. We'll turn the work around. Sometimes I slip the side stitches of my bobbles to encourage them to sort of curl around. So I'm just purling back on those stitches, turning my work. We'll slip this side stitch just to tighten up the edges. So I've done slip 1 purlwise and knit to the end. And then I'm going to slip it purlwise, and this time I'm going to work from my right needle to my left. So throw my yarn around here, bring it through, yarn around, hook it over. If you can't remember how to do it, turn it around, put the needle in, throw the yarn, and then look at it from the opposite perspective. So in order to work that stitch, the yarn has to come up over there and the needle has to enter purlwise. We've got the needle in and there's the stitch made. I've done 3 rows on my bobble so far. There's my new knit, followed by purl. Let's count that again, doesn't make sense. So there's a yarn over there because it's behind the rung of the ladder. And so if that's the yarn over, that's my first purl row. Then I knitted, then I purled. That makes sense. So when you're counting rows, just double check yourself. Slip the first stitch purlwise, knit to the end. I'm going to slip that stitch and purl back, and notice that a purl viewed from the other side is a knit because you're just looking at it from the other perspective. So I've made quite a bit of a lozenge of knitting. If I were to take that little extra bit of knitting off my needle, that's what I've actually created, a little pendant of knitting in the middle of a row.